What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. Yes, we're back again for another round of AOR Oceania F1. We're here, as you can see, here at the Canadian Grand Prix, and you're probably wondering why we didn't do this race back in season 2. So hence why there was no results from the previous season anyway. But again, apologies, I forgot to get the championship table from the previous time out. Now, of course, I should have a slight note as well, as we actually run very wide, and clearly I still haven't learned from SRL by going straight off out of the pit exit and going straight into the wall, which has damaged my front wing. So going really well at the moment. Compared to what happened in SRL, yeah, that's a lot worse with a bit of front wing damage. But anyway, yeah, but just a slight note, obviously, you're probably thinking it's round 7. You're thinking, where the hell is round 6 at Monaco? Unfortunately, I didn't take part in Monaco because my internet connection was just, it was just rubbish, to be honest with you. There was a little bit of an issue with it at with SRL as well. I was just able to race with it, but in AOR, just before AOR last week, it was just horrible. The upload speed was just horrible. So I made the decision to not race because I didn't want to take any people out by lag and cause a huge kerfuffle, you know, and stuff. I don't want to be known as one of the laggiest persons around with my internet. But anyway, so anyway, I took the week off, and I'm back again here for round number 7 here at the Canadian Grand Prix, as you can see right now. So you see that we obviously went in, came back out. We've gone onto the set of Hypersoft tyres. I think, remember, I started off on the ultra soft tyres, but obviously binned it coming out of the pit lane. So just decided to go for the Hypersoft front as we get a little bit close to the wall of champions there. We're going to come across the line now. We go up into position 6 on the grid with a 109.437. Felt pretty okay. I mean, Brisbane wasn't really a bit unknown, to say the least, for this one, because I think if they're talking about a bit more dry conditions for this one compared to what occurred in SRL, where it was sort of dry at the start, then it got wet later on in the race. But anyway, no, sorry, we did actually go out on the Hypersoft tyres, and yeah, I did obviously that run there on the Hypersofts as we jumped in behind one of the Red Bulls. I think it's HO, I could be wrong. Yes, it is, actually. So just going to pop in behind him. So yeah, went out on the Hypersoft tyres, obviously crashed over there at the wall, and then came back in, changed the front wing, went on another set of Hypersoft tyres. I mean, there wasn't going to be the quickest lap anyway. It never is earlier on anyway. So yeah, just here we are, just getting out of the road end of New Zealand Rhino. Was HO just having a bit of a lag moment there. So just pretty much just falling in behind him. And actually, I decided to back off a little bit more, just have a bit of fresh air, and then just let a few of the guys through. Like there's Prez BC gone through, DLG Gamble's gone through as well. So see, I'm literally just revving out the engine in this car. So the goal literally was like, the first Hypersoft run, I mean, it was okay to 1 minute 9.4, but this was just a precaution should something happen to my last Hypersoft tyre run, which, if you look back at the SRL video, there was a lot of chaos anyway. Well, not a lot of chaos. I made a couple of mistakes along the lap anyway, which obviously made me have to start on the, well, it didn't actually start on the ultra soft tyres in the end, but I probably would have done if I qualified with them in the top 10 anyway. But anyway, we're continuing on. So we're still improving the lap times here. We're up by about half a second, I think, on sector 2 times. When we come across the line now, we're currently peak 10. We jump up into peak 7. So we go about 3/10 quicker. That 1 minute 9.1. So we're getting closer to the 108s. Probably if I get on the Hypersoft tyres, I probably may go into the 108s. But continued on, like I said, as usual, doing a couple of runs at least, just to make sure this was going to be okay for the race, but just ran a little bit wide coming through turn 6. We sort of a little bit of my Achilles heel, but yes, I continued on to finish the lap, but again, just made an absolute meal of it through turns 8 and 9. So yeah, in the end, I decided to back off a little bit and just let everybody go here. That's letting Neon actually go through there. I think he's on a flyer. But we do drop back down to P9 as there's a couple of more guys that have set lap time. So it was sort of stuck in between at the moment. Quicksilver and was DLG Gamble. Now we're back down to P10 by the looks of it, with a few guys still yet to do their quick runs earlier on. But I think Greek's still leading the way. We'll probably will check in the timings in a second. But going back on the final set of Hypersoft tyres and taking all the fuel out. So there you go. There's the times at the moment. Greek's leading the way from Timo Marnik, who we welcome back, who's been missing the last 3 races, I think it is. He missed Azerbaijan, Spain, and Monaco. Obviously, I think he was away over in the UK at that moment in time. So big welcome back to him. He's currently P2 at the moment, so he really hasn't lost any of the pace at the moment. But here we are. We're currently P11 at the moment. Hopefully, we can start inside the top 10. But we can see what we can do on the Hypersoft tyres here anyway. So this is going to be stay on board for this flying lap around the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Now coming straight into turn 1. Getting a little bit wide, and again I probably screwed up a little bit by going in a little bit way too hot there, and running over the exit curve was definitely not part of my plan at all. But trying to make up it through here, literally using every single bit of road through the 3 and 4. Now coming into turn 6. Taking it a lot cautiously, turning in a lot earlier there, which we are gaining a heap of time at the moment. I think we're currently up by a little bit, not by much. It was 0.03, I think it was, at the sector 1 split. That's a nice run out of there through turns 8 and 9. Now we're going to size up the hairpin here. I think we're only slightly up here, 0.007 of a second at the moment, but I think it's mainly the last sector where I probably lost out the most. I think maybe around the final chicane anyway. But you see qualifying is done, still in P11, so hopefully this should vault us up the leaderboard here a little bit. Nice run through there. We take the shorter run this time to the control line. As we come across it, we go up into P9 with a 1 minute 8.771, but we do. You see there's a little bit of chaos that's been going on after the finish line here. So you'll be able to see on Warden's screen here as he just slams, his AI car just slams into all this chaos that's just going on at the moment. But he's on board the replay with V-Fence. Just cut the corner a little bit coming out of turn 9, and that was his lap time done and dusted. So he's going to qualify in P4, I believe, for this race. But we'll be able to see the results in a minute. So Greek does get pole with a 1 minute 7.666, so he's bloody quick. Ben obviously in P2, Jared P3. We actually finished up in P10. I was a bit disappointed that I didn't get knocked out of the 10, because I would have liked to have started on the fresher tyres, but hey-ho, we'll take it anyway. We're starting in P10 and lagging my teammates way down the order. But it's time to go racing here at the Canadian Grand Prix.
Will be compromised if you're too aggressive into turn 1. We need to stay out of trouble today.
Fingers crossed that's the plan. Welcome to the grid for round number 7, obviously. Race strategy-wise, the strategy put me on a weird 2-stop going from Hypersofts to Supersoft and Ultrasoft, but that wasn't really part of my plan. So I was going to obviously start on Hypersoft tyres and probably go on to the Supersoft tyres, and then I was sort of toying around, like, if something should happen later on, whether I should try and go on to another set of Hypersoft tyres or whether the Ultrasofts would get there. But even just with the last few seconds, I was still toying around with it. But I decided to go with, obviously, starting on Hypers, go to Supersofts, and if something should occur, we've got Hypersofts up our sleeve anyway. So nothing much happened on the formation lap. So here we go. We're all set for round number 7 here, the Canadian Grand Prix. 5 red lights. Let's do it around Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. It's a shocking start, actually, for Pres VC. I don't know what's occurred there, whether he's missed the lights or had a bit of a glitch start. Actually, we're going to have a look up the inside here of Drop Bear. Going to try around the long way here. It is a bit risky, not going to lie, but We just have to settle in behind him. So we made up a spot already up in the P9. Warden's behind in P10. He's obviously on super soft tyres because he didn't have the greatest of qualifying, so he can choose whatever tyre he wants. He can, so up the inside he goes. But Ryan had a terrible run through turn 6 there. As everybody just trying to sort each other out here, and Warden looks like he's got pretty good pace at the moment. I mean, he's on the super soft tyres. They should be a lot slower to get the tyre temperature up, but we'll go side by side. We're getting a legal overtake over him, so I was trying to let him go back through. And DLG Gamble, I didn't mean to actually hold him up there. I was just trying to let Warden go through, but yeah, it was a bit unfortunate the way that panned out anyway, but I think somehow we're going to still keep ahead of Gamble there, so apologies to DLG Gamble. I did not mean to hold you up at all. I was just trying to let Warden get back through as quickly as possible, but we're still hanging on in P10. Obviously lost that spot to Warden. Not the greatest of runs through the chicane there, but somehow we managed to keep it off the walls especially. So we completed lap 1. So now the job continues to try and catch up to these guys. We actually went purple in the sector 1 there on lap 2. So obviously everybody not really pushing on too early. I mean, there's been a few, I think it was a few of the top 10 guys that started on the Hypersoft tyres. I'm going to get that one mixed up quite a lot. It was a yellow flag behind. I think that's actually for DLG Gambu who fell away. So not sure exactly what's happened to him. So we might have to see whether there's a replay of it maybe. But still lap 3, on the lap 3. He was still hanging on to the back of Warden. He's not really getting away from us here. Neither sort of Drop Bear, and I think that's Neon Tridome as well. It's a bit further up, and I'm not sure exactly who the other car is further up the road anyway. So up into lap 4 now. Get our first corner cutting warning there.
Behind is 4.9 seconds.
Obviously Laggy has made some moves as well. He's up in the P11. Obviously starting on the super soft tyres. Is getting too much curb there and just keeping them grazing the wall literally. And weirdly enough, just getting a different strategy option there, which felt like really on lap 4. I mean, I would have liked to have taken these Hypersoft tyres a lot further, but decided to keep the normal strategy anyway, not go for plan B at this stage. But we have lost a lot of ground here to both these guys, all these guys actually. So Drop Bear, I think, has got by Neon by the looks of things, and I think Warden's putting a lot of pressure here on him, but just trying to catch up here. There's another corner cutting penalty there. So anyway, let's have a look at his replays for the start. So Greek gets away pretty well. He's on board with Tiamat Marduk. Going into turn 1. Going a little bit side by side with Jared. Jared trying to go pretty much what I was doing the long way around, but can't do anything silly there. But those, both Ben and Greek are on Hypersoft tyres. Jared's on Ultrasoft tyres. So that'll be one to keep an eye on for possibly a bit later on in the race. But Greek did try this sort of Hypersoft to Supersoft strategy back in TOR, and it did work for him. But Jared having a little look at the inside there at the hairpin, but couldn't quite get it done, and just has to settle back into P3 for now. Back now with Neon Tritos a bit further back. Apologies that there's no audio coming out of Neon's footage. I think it's mainly sort of maybe the files that he sends me through Google Drive is not really working. I think we're trying to sort of rectify that, or maybe he's trying to upload to his YouTube channel a bit more. But this is what occurred with, you can see Ryan battling away there with HO. Just runs in a little bit deep. These two are making contact now. Now Neon going straight up the inside here. Ryan obviously covering just to make sure Neon doesn't go up the inside here. But HO goes right around the outside, just hangs on to position. Somehow it gets a little bit sideways as well. There's also a bit of yellow flag action as well. But we play on board DLG Gamble, who just managed to avoid Pres BC, who, like I said, went absolutely nowhere. So not really sure, like I said, not really sure what happened to him. But this is Gamble and Warden going side by side through the first couple of corners. But Warden gets that move done. There was a little bit of contact. I don't think Gamble realised where Warden's braking point was at that stage. So he's already got front wing damage already on lap 1. You see Warden going up my inside here, but not really working. I think that was Quicksilver trying to look up the inside of Gamble, but no can do there. You probably see all the battling going on in the foreground here, but going through here into turn 2. And it was a few cars behind Warden going a little bit sideways there, but you see, this was the moment where I was trying to let Warden go back through, and Gamble probably trying to probably the wrong option, maybe going around around the outside sort of thing, but managed to just get away with it there anyway. But also another replay here with ball with Quicksilver. He was watching all this battle going on here. I think I forgot there was some yellow flag action on lap 1, plus also what occurred on lap 2. But you see Quicksilver tried to have a look at the inside, as I said, up into turn 6, but trying to sort of hang on to the rear of Gamble here into turn 7. And there's been a contact, actually. I think that's actually made contact with Pres BC. Laggy somehow managed to just get away with it. I don't know how he did. But thankfully he's gained a couple of spots there, and wouldn't be surprised if Master Berserk was the exact same thing. I saw another replay now with Prez. Now he was obviously watching this battle going on here. Like I said, he's got Master Berserk not far behind him on the Hypersofts tyres, so you see that he may have gone a little bit just too deep there and just gave him a little touch. It may have been a lag touch, I'm not really too sure there, but back we go aboard with Gamble, who's still struggling away with the front wing damage. He's got now Master Berserk going up the inside here in turn 6, but no can do there. But this front wing damage is certainly not helping his cause. I mean, if DRS was enabled, he probably would be in a lot of trouble here, but going into turn 6, he goes a little bit sideways, and I think he may have just done that on his own. I'm not too sure. I don't know whether there was a tag at all, but that was a nice ghosting moment between him and Quicksilver. But yeah, Gamble now all the way back to the rear of the grid now. But like I said, I think he did it on his own by taking too much curve maybe, but anyway, he did decide to come in at the end of lap 2 and put on a set of super soft tyres and obviously change the front wing, so he's going to be well and truly behind at this point of the race anyway. But now, he's probably the one we need to see replay with Master Berserk. Looking out the inside there of Gamble. And he's obviously got my teammate Laggy behind him as well. Now, let's just see what occurs here, because I wasn't sure whether it was Gamble himself, but there's just a tiny touch, I think, from Master Berserk there. He's obviously had to take the shortcut, give up the spot to Laggy, but that was a bit of a tricky one there, that one. It's a replay on board with Fans, who has not the greatest of runs through the final chicane, and Ryan's going to go up here, and going to be what the inside is.
We're running an excess on fuel.
Should get
Mix
the move
3 is
done.
there if you need it.
Tried it, but no, he doesn't. Holds back for now, but he's going to try to crisscross here on Fans. He might do it here. I don't know if he's got enough up his sleeve. He's trying everything. Fans is doing everything, braking late as he can, but he is in a little bit too deep, I think, and now it's given Ryan the spot now up into P4. He's back aboard with Neon Tridome. This is probably where Drop Bear got the move on him, and there you go. That was pretty simple there. There is a little bit of a lag moment, I think, but Drop Bear going right around the outside, and that was a pretty nice move from for Drop Bear up into P7 for him, and obviously Josh Neon back into P8.
The car ahead is
now back to me now as we get our third cut and our first penalty. So clearly the mistakes I still haven't learnt the mistakes from SRL, and I still keep cutting the corner, which is still a thing around here. So just now took me a little bit too much curve. I'm dropping away a slight bit, and the tyre where you can probably see is starting to get up a little bit. So we're going to really be struggling pretty soon. Like I said, Hypersofts tyres don't really go too long. You can probably take either 7 or 8 laps, if not longer. So now as they get another corner cutting warning there. So just trying to keep up with these guys a bit further. Anyway, I think Neon probably did the same thing, because he's on Hypersofts as well, getting a little bit sideways there. I still don't know how exactly I didn't put that in the wall, but now to lap 8, yeah, the tyres are really starting to dive. We get a little glance to the wall there at turn 4.
Our gap to the car
They're really starting to feel it here as they're coming through turn 6. We've spun the car, and now I just have to get out of everybody's way here. I have to wait for pretty much everybody to go through, which was pretty much majority, minus DLG Gam was obviously come in, but
7 seconds.
Yeah, I think at this point these tyres were absolutely done at this point, so just pretty much there's no other option. I just had to come in. Now, I was sort of toying around what tyres to go on, and Yeah, look, and even through here, turns 8 and 9, I'm still sliding all over the place. You can see why the rears are absolutely shot and big time overheating. So, yeah, I just thought, yeah, I just had no choice, just had to come in. I sort of was toying with the idea about going on to Ultrasofts and maybe doing a 2-stop, but thought may as well just go with what I originally had planned, go on to Supersofts, and nothing works from that. We'll wait and see. So here we go. Onto the Supersoft tyres. Did get a change in the front wing as well. I can't remember whether I put it down or up, but we should just come out ahead of DLG Gamble's just coming around the first couple of corners. We just managed to get out ahead of him, but we're way behind the pack that are they're just pretty much in no man's land. We're pretty much in no man's land at the moment. But I must say, these fresh tyres felt a lot better, I can tell you. There was a yellow flag temporarily up at turns 8 and 9, and I'm not sure what that was for. Running a lot wide there. This was still on my effectively outlap coming out of the pits as well. But replay again on lap 8. Ben having a little bit of a slide now, so I think the Hypersoft tyres are probably sort of dying a little bit here. Here comes Warden up the inside on Neon. He gets that done at the final chicane. Neon a bit sliding around all over the place, so that was probably his Hypersoft sort of dying off here. And that was Jarrett getting a little bit close there to Ben. Greek started to pull away a little bit. So like I said, he has done this before, but whether he could do it again, we'll have to wait and see. But he goes, I think there's going to be a switch of position here. Yes, there is. So Jarrett goes up the inside of Ben and takes position 2. And now back we go to lap 8, obviously. And Ben's still struggling away a little bit here. Now, he has got his teammate behind him here. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little switcheroo here. And there you go. I think there's right on cue, as I say it. He's let Ryan go through, who's also on Ultrasoft tyres. So could definitely go a lot longer on these set of tyres here. As you can see Ben taking a lot of curb and a big oversteer moment there. That's the easy pickings for Fens, who's up the inside, who's also on Ultrasoft tyres. You can see, look at the back end. He's lost the back end big time there. So those Hypersofts are definitely going off on Ben's car. You can probably understand how they were going off on my car. So into the pits he comes to go onto, I assume, a set of Supersoft tyres. You can probably see from the graphic there as well. But in he comes. The Ferrari boys are ready and waiting. Supersoft tyres are on, and away he goes. Yeah, I think Greek also came in as well to put the Supersoft tyres on. But now back to his point of view, starting to catch up to my teammate, that laggy person. This is on lap 11. This is for P7, I think, in the race. Will be effectively, I think, P2 on the racetrack. We may, you never know, it may change around, see where the Ultrasoft tyres runners come out. But Ben wants to try and get past Lag as quick as possible. And there's a mistake that he wanted to see. And there you go, up the inside he goes at turn 6 and gets the move done. But while all that was going on, I'm still literally corner cutting my way around the circuit anyway. But actually started going purple in sector 1 there, being the fastest out of everybody on this racetrack anyway. So, yeah, again, still going purple, but not the fastest middle sector. So, thought maybe, I don't know, it's probably going to be a long shot to maybe get some points. So, I mean, if we can get something different. Hitting the energy deployment and actually setting the fastest lap of the race then with a 11.185. So that was pretty cool, but it didn't last long because Greek pumped out a 1:11.101. So thanks, Greek, for that. That was really kind of you, but still really pushing on. The Supersoft tyres were sort of really working for me, so we went purple again through sector 1. So obviously still got some good pace at the moment. Another yellow flag down at the hairpin, so not really sure what occurred there, but anyway, continuing on. Possibly might have been Master Berserkers. He's now in the pits. This is on lap 13 onto 14 now, so we're going to a spot up into P13. Next up, sort of press BCs. We give the turn 4 wall a little glance again. Not the first time we've done that. It probably won't be the last time, because I'm literally driving the wheels off this thing just to try and get a decent result out of all this. So as actually my teammate has actually left the session, I think he had a big internet issues with his internet, so hence why he's disconnected. And here comes Ben coming through turn 1. think he's just going to be side by side with Ryan, who just manages to get out in front of him. Now, bear in mind, Ryan's taken the Ultrasofts a little bit further, obviously, because Ben's been on the Hypersoft tyres, but that's very important for Ryan to get out ahead of Ben, who'll be on much fresher rubber as well. There comes DRC Jared out of the pits. You literally come flying out and straight into turn 2, but Jared gets that position as well. So that puts him up into, I think that was effectively P2 with Greg still leading the way. Here's Neon passing Quicksilver per position 8. He gets that done well and truly before the final chicane, before the Wall of Champions. So up into P8. Quicksilver may have a look, but I think he settled back into it anyway. But there's our second time penalty, I believe, on lap 16. So all's going really well at the moment. So, and actually still getting the corners there. That's number 7, I believe. So as Ryan now sits the fastest lap with a 10.9, I should say.
Some of this energy.
As you can see now, we're actually starting to catch up to my teammate's Ghosted AI car. I probably would have sent him an invite, but I was sort of busy with my own race, so apologies to Laggy for that one. But Quicksilver, you saw, is out of the Grand Prix. There he is. His AI car. Thank God for the ghosting system. Otherwise, I would have been in a hell of a lot of trouble there. But anyway, yeah, still pretty quiet on my end. So back we go to on board with Neon Tridome, trying to sort of hold off. No, he's actually let Warden go through here, who is on, I think, what is he, Ultrasoft tyres, so he's definitely got a lot of pace, and actually Neon picks up a time penalty for cutting the corner. He's lap 19, still cutting the corners, literally. I think turn 3 was probably one of my hot spots, and obviously turn 4 as well, as we get another penalty as well. So I think mainly through the whole race it was either turns 3, 4, and probably this section where I was getting all the corner cuts, so getting very close to the wall again. Literally nothing in it, but is a replay on board with Ben again. There's a little switch of positions as well, because Ryan's now, Jared has let Ryan go through here for, like I said, effective P2 in the race, so he can go chase after Greg. These two are still battling away for this championship, but now up to lap 23. I mean, there's a bit of a big gap to Presby C up the road there, and he is in the final points paying position, so it doesn't really help my cause. But again, it's still cutting corners and another time penalty. So yeah, I really got to fix that up. If Canada's maybe on the next season or something, I've really got to fix this up anyway, because this just cannot be happening right, left and centre. And also probably the final chicane as well, where you can get a big corner cut as well. So it's probably, can't remember what the gap was at the moment. You're probably seeing it on the screen there, but just ran a little bit too wide coming through the final chicane. So now going to be a lot of hard work anyway, but here's Gamble back into the lane, so he's onto a set of Hypersoft tyres, I think. So I think he's just well and truly, I think, going for the fastest lap of the race. There goes, who's that just coming by? I think this is the race leader. Yes, it is. So this is this is what occurred in SRL with Presby C behind DRC Jarrett. This is going to really help my cause, because Greg's now ahead of DLG Gamble. With me having a lot of penalties, this does help me a lot. So I should be able to stay ahead of him, as I've sort of given up the ghost of trying to catch up to Presby C. You can see I'm pretty much on my own here. So I thought may as well dive into the pits and try for the fast lap of the race, because I've pretty much got nothing to lose here. So getting another change of front wing, which I didn't really enjoy.
Go.
Can't remember which way I went, but I went up the set of Ultrasoft tyres because I didn't feel comfortable with the Hypersoft tyres to go to the end of the race. So I thought this would be the safer strategy to go on the Ultrasoft tyres to see whether we can pump out a fastest lap compared to any of the Hypersoft runners that are going to do fastest laps. And clearly you can see still cutting corners right, left and centre. So and probably still doing the exact same thing on lap 28. So nothing's really changed on my point of view anyway, but anyway, going a little bit purple through sector 1 here. We're still managing to keep ahead of the guys behind as Master Berserk sets a quick time with a 10.4 on that lap. So again, going purple. It's not the quickest, fastest first sector or middle sector, but just going to see what we can do here for the next couple of laps anyway. Probably just going to go nuts. And probably if I didn't invalidate the lap time, I probably on that last lap, I probably would have got fastest lap of the race. I think it was like a 10.42 or something. But anyway, now we're setting purple the fastest first sector time. So we're looking pretty good here at the moment. It's only a green middle sector time, so I mean that's not all that bad anyway. So as Warden now goes and sets a 10.2, I believe he's on the Hypersoft tyres, so hence why he's quick at the moment. So I'm not sure exactly. I think he possibly is on the 2-stop, or could be on the 2-stop. I'm not sure. We set a 10.4. So not really too far away from the fastest lap of the race, but I knew I could go for it one more chance anyway, but there's Neon still battling away as Warden goes up the inside, actually trying to go right around the outside with much more grip on those Hypersoft tyres. Should be pretty well easily snapped up, and he does do it. So, so lap 31, really sliding my way through the final chicane again. So, I mean, these tyres are not really burnt up a lot anyway. Now jumping aboard lap 33 now. Now this is probably one of the last shots I had of trying to get the fastest lap of the race. Like I said, it's a 10.2 at the moment, so I was hoping to give it all what I could literally, and see what we can do. Maybe try and beat a Hypersoft fastest lap of the race anyway, like I said. So first off, going purple through sector 1, so looking pretty good at the moment now. You stay on board for this lap anyway, so now turns 8 and 9 is a little tricky, this one. This is probably one of the better ones that I've actually taken, that chicane there. But now going into the hairpin now. It's still not a purple sector time. Not the fastest by all means, but it's at least something anyway. But now coming along this long back straight now. Was it the Casino Straight? Down here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Now sizing up the final chicane. Don't know what it is, but there doesn't seem to be any braking markers in the final chicane. Don't know what's going on, but anyway, nice run through the final chicane. Literally going right down the tighter line as we do set the fastest lap of the race with a 10.19. So yeah, I was pretty happy to get that. And actually we derated as well on the AOR, so hence why you can probably tell from the AOR settings it was all flashing all over the place. But we got the fastest lap of the race, so hopefully that's a good thing. But back aboard with DLG Gamble, who's still behind Greek Master, but I think he's sort of given up the ghost of trying to get back on the lead laps. He's let Jared through, let Ryan go through, so these guys are still within a shot of taking the race victory, and we'll see why in a second as we get another time penalty there. So I've lost count of how many time penalties I've got this race. I think it's like, what do we go, 18, that's the 18th cut apparently, that whole race. So what's that, 3, 6, 9, 12, so he's changed for the lead on the final lap of the race. Jared up the inside. I'm worried about the penalties later on, but it doesn't really matter on my part anyway. But Greek's tyres have literally died, I think, because, like I said, he started on Hypersoft tyres, came in early, compared to the guys on the Ultrasoft tyres. Ryan up the inside. He's going to get that position as well. So Greek's now dropped from possibly winning this race to back into 3rd position. He might still hang on to the podium, but it's going to be a tough ask because Gamble's got a perfect bird's eye view of this one. So you can see struggling a little bit there is Greek. So Ryan trying to pretty much pull away here at the moment. Gamble I thought he was going to have a look up the inside here, but you see Jared really starting to pull away here, and don't know whether there's much else they could do really. But now coming into the final chicane, literally doing everything they can as Greek tries everything he can to get across the line. It's a close one, but I think Ryan may have just got it on the line anyway, but it actually gives Greek the victory because you'll see why in a second. So now back to my point of view, obviously it's a pretty decent result. I mean, we got a fast lap anyway, so I mean it was decent enough. So but we do manage to hang on to get P11 in this race. So I mean it's a decent result, but yeah, certainly the early lap dramas with the Hypersoft tyres and spinning around didn't really help my cause. So yeah, like I said, it was Greek that took the victory over DRC Jared and Ryan as well. Now, I probably will explain why in a second once the number of final results come up, as you'll be able to see in a second, as we get a nice dosage of XP. So we're now up to 26 ranking overall in the Formula 1 game. So obviously Greek took the race win because both Jared and Ryan got penalties. Jared only got 1 penalty. I think Ryan may have got 3 penalties, and Greek got 0. So I think HO was the only other one that got no penalties, and also DLG Gamble. But that was the podium. Fens in 4th. Ben in his return, obviously from missing 3 races in 5th. HO, Drop Bear, Warden, Neon Tridome, and Pres BC ran out of the top 10. Like I said, finishing up in P11, so obviously had a heap of penalties up my sleeve, which sort of didn't really help that one anyway. But you probably see majority of this is nearly got my name in it anyway. So, oh well, it is what it is. But here's the championship standings now. So it's a 27-point gap between Greek and Ryan in the championship. Then it's, what is it, 53 or something or other, close enough to DRC Jared in the 3rd. We're still in P13, so we haven't really moved much. We're still on the trusty 6 points, but we are being caught slowly by both Laggy and Pres BC on both 5 points. Constructors Championship, it has really taken off since I last updated it. So 74 points between Williams and Ferrari. So like I said, it's mainly Williams having 2 drivers and Ferrari is just being with Ryan obviously missing Benz. So it's not really helped. And Mercedes are slowly catching up to them actually in position 3. So it was currently P9 in the Constructors with Haas. So we could possibly get, if we can have some good results in the next couple of races, possibly get Renault and Toro Rosso very, very quickly and hopefully move up the table. But yeah, anyway, that was that's the race from the Canadian Grand Prix. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. You can leave your comments down below as always. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more AOR, Oceania, F1 footage on F1 2018, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. All my social media links are down in the description. Plus, I'll leave the links down below for the Apex Online Racing website and the YouTube channel. All our side of things leagues are on at 8 p.m. on Sunday nights at Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So be sure to tune in for that. But until the next time, which should be the French Grand Prix, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.